In today's episode, I have invited a professional organizer on the show to talk to us about organizing not only our balloon spaces, but our homes as well. I think one of the biggest trouble areas in running a professional balloon business, especially if you're home based, is organization. There is so many different supplies and materials. We're always making messes. Things are going out the door, they're coming back in, we're popping. It's really, really a struggle to stay organized. So I'm so excited we have Tammy on the show sharing some tips about getting organized. To the podcast, Tammy. I'm so excited to have a non balloon related business owner on talking about something that I love and hate, which is organization. So, give us your introduction and tell us a little bit about you and your business.
Course. So, thank you first of all for having me here. This is really fun. And so we'll start off with I'm a professional organizer. So I organize spaces, offices, homes, you name it. I've done it. I come from the interior design world, so that's where I started. And out of need from our clients, they started requesting, "Hey, do you have an organizer?" I think it was kind of when things became popular, with the Netflix show and the many things
Well,
that
yeah.
made organization kind of like a thing over the last, say, 10 years. So, anywho, I kind of pivoted around 2020 and went into organization. And here I am. I've never looked back. It's just great. I love it.
So, what are, I mean, you said there's all different areas, and I saw on your website, it's not like one size fits all. Um,
No.
so for us, for balloon decorators, I mean, I think a
Mhm.
lot of us are disorganized in our homes also, but also disorganized in balloons, in what we do, because there's so many little pieces, there's so many colors, there's so many sizes, I feel
Mhm.
like everyone's redoing their shelving and their organization all the time to try to find something that works? Like, are there any, I guess, like golden rules, or where do you even start to troubleshoot if you just have a space that isn't functioning?
Well, first of all, I think that balloon organization would be so fun because it could be so pretty too. It could really be like an amazing backdrop to your podcast. Um, yeah, the rules I would say for basically any space are to sort by like items. So, like for instance, with balloons, I would maybe sort by shape and then by color because
Okay.
I think you use different shape, well, sizes probably,
Size. Yep.
different sizes and then color. And so that you could easily just look at, I'd probably use clear too. So I could look at a clear bin and be like, okay, you'll just go to your color and then you'll see your size labeled on there. And I think it could be really helpful just to know what you have too in terms of like reordering, what you're using, what you're not using for your inventory.
Yeah. For me, I have to see everything. Like, I think there's other people that, like, want things behind closed doors. Like, I don't know if it's a creative person thing, but, like, I have to see what I have available, otherwise I'll forget it even exists. Is that a common thing?
For sure, because when I do pantries, I'll go in and I'll be like, "Hey, do you eat a lot of peanut butter? Because you have 3 giant Costco-sized peanut butters here." And they're like, "No, every time I go, I think I'm out because it's buried in the back and I can't see it." So, I think a lot of people are very visual when it comes to, an inventory or knowing what you have.
Yeah, and then in terms of the visibility and you mentioned the actual containers. I know this is very specific, you're not like a full-time balloon organizer, but, what w it because you're an interior designer, I'm curious, like, does what it looks like matter, or is it about function, or is it a little bit of both? Like, I'm like, you mentioned clear. Should it have a lid? Should it stack? Should it be I mean, what wins out when you're running a business? Is it function? Is it beauty?
I think when it's a business and not your pantry, okay, your home, um, I think function should win out because time is money and you want to be as efficient as possible. You want to, in my opinion, you'd want to look at a wall of balloons, look for your size and go straight to your color rather than kind of have to search all the labels for the right color. It's
Or, like,
just,
dig
it's
through
about,
bins. A lot of people have them in,
yes.
like, those big bins, and they're just, like, digging.
Yes, no. I would do some type of a system that is clear, that you can see, that maybe is like a drawer, so it opens this way and you reach in, but they're all the same size and color, and so they're smaller bins, right? And
Mhm.
then they stack. You could do like a whole wall, and it would look really awesome too.
Yeah. Cool, cool.
But
Um,
but
sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, when I'm doing a home, like if I'm doing your pantry, then I think a little bit differently because I
Okay,
want it to look pretty. Like I want when I do a home, I kind of look at what the house looks like and I match the aesthetic. So I want that behind the door pantry to just be an extension of what the house looks like.
okay.
So I kind of go
Gotcha.
for function and style.
Okay. Neat. And you do one of the services on your website is offices. Not thinking through the lens of balloon people. What type of organization do you do there? Because I always think of an office as just like they just have paper. Like are you doing like filing type of organization or what are you organizing in the office space?
Not really a lot of filing. So I just did an office space 2 weeks ago, and they just kind of had things thrown in drawers. Okay.
Okay.
Like, even like, no system, the desk that they had didn't have dividers or anything inside. So they just had paper, pens, everything kind of thrown in there. And there were paper and pens over here, and there were paper and pens over there. And they were kind of, when they needed something, they didn't have like a specific place to go for it.
Yeah.
So, just like organizing balloons, I start by sorting everything, all the pens, all the pencils, all the erasers, all the things. And then I figure out what makes sense. Like, okay, we're using paper and pen at our desk all the time. So, like, I'm a right handed gal, I'll put it in the right hand drawer, like there it is, easy to get to. And I bring in little systems that help keep everything in their place, little organizers for the drawers. And that particular one was challenging because it was these very, very low, like short drawers in height that was very short. So we had to kind of hunt for the right product, but we found it and it works, and everything has a home now, because that's the like heart of organizing. Like everything gets a home. And if everything has a home, whether it's your office or your house, you can find things easily, and it's going to save you time and just make life efficient and less headaches when you can't find something.
Quick pause because if you're running a small business and you feel like your brain is holding open 1,000 tiny tabs, this is for you. One of the biggest shifts that I've made in my business and that I've seen successful decorators make over and over is moving from doing everything manually to having a real system behind the scenes. That's why 17 Hats is our exclusive YouTube sponsor for 2026. 17 Hats puts your inquiries, contracts, invoices, questionnaires, emails, and workflows all in one place so you're not chasing clients, forgetting follow ups, or reinventing the wheel every single time someone books. Instead of asking, did I send that and what comes next? Your business just works. The best part, it doesn't make your business feel more robotic. It actually frees you up to do things that you are meant to do, like be creative, work with clients, spend time with your family, and all with less stress. If you're ready to stop duct taping systems together and start operating like a real business, head to 17hats.com to check it out. Once you have a system, everything else gets easier. All right, let's jump back in. Can we talk about kids? Like, I know that's
Of
not
course.
business related, but I
It's
feel like
okay.
a lot of people listening are moms, and it's like, even if you have your balloon space dialed in, the rest of your house is just like a disaster, and there's no systems, and nothing has a home because it's like a toy they got yesterday that doesn't fit on a shelf that they're not gonna like in 3 days, and even if I go through and organize everything, I feel like kids just derail anything. Do you have any tips to dealing with the kid clutter? Because it is a mental stressor for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Kid clutter is hard. Thank God it's temporary and it only lasts for so long where they're into toys, right? I
Yeah.
just remember that magical age of like 10 when they started to get rid of toys, and it was like, oh, finally. But, containment, I mean, I think, again, sorting things, when I do a playroom, I will sort all the cars and all the dinosaurs and all the dolls, and each one has their own space, if you have
Okay.
space for such a thing, right? Like, these are for people probably who have a toy room that can do that, and if you
Mhm.
don't have a toy room that you can do that, I still think even a toy box that you can't see into, just to put things away and get them in said space, at the end of the day.
Mhm.
Kids are it's hard because they're playing with their things. They want to play with their things. They don't always know where to put things. Sometimes when I do kid spaces, depending on the age of the children, I'll do the labels that have like a picture of a dinosaur instead of the word dinosaur so that they can look for the pictures, oh, that's a doll and that's a car, and
Yeah.
take care of things that way, which is great because it teaches them how to clean up a little bit too.
Yeah.
It just toys are a hard one because it depends on the age, but I will always say this, as parents, we are going to have to continually reset the system. Like, it's just if you have friends over and they don't know your system, toys are going to be everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like for a time at a certain age with kids, a system's still good because you're still teaching them to put things in the right place. And I think it feels better to kids to be organized. It's cute. All the kids that I have done playrooms for, they get very excited. They really like it. But it's a thing until a certain age, you're going to have to just kind of keep resetting as the parent. But
Yeah.
hopefully, once there's a system, I always say this, once there's a system in place, resetting it is easy and it should take
Yeah.
like 5 minutes, you know?
That's my issue right now. We just moved, like, a month ago, and so we have
Hmm.
no systems, everything's a mess,
Hmm.
like, I have all these little compartments, like, "Oh, this is where the pencils are gonna go, and this is where the dinosaurs are gonna go," and it's like, no, they're not, and I think I almost need to simplify it and just have, like, 3 bins, It's like
Yeah.
cars, random stuff, and then, like, Lego-y, buildy type of stuff, so at least there's an imperfect system, but there's something. Because right now
Yes.
it's just
Exactly.
it's everything's on the floor, and then, of course, they, once I go through and try to pare down, that's when all of a sudden they discover this toy that they haven't played with in, like, 6 months that's suddenly the most exciting thing ever. So I think if there was less in there, they might actually
Yeah.
use the stuff more. Right now, it's just no one wants to be in there, it's crazy.
It's a lot of stuff. Yeah, it just depends on their ages. Like, I have a granddaughter who's 1, and she has a bunch of stuff, a bunch of toys, but there's no way she's gonna try and put things back the right
Right.
way. I mean, it all goes in a big chest at the end of, like, when she goes down for a nap, it all goes in there. When she goes to bed at night, it all goes in there. There's no really rhyme or reason, but it's contained and it's not sitting in the middle of the living room.
Yeah, yeah. Let's keep chatting about home life because I'm just a big believer that like when you're a solopreneur or you have a small business and it's mostly just you, all the stuff that's not business related, like it all still matters. You still have to do all of it, even if it's not related
Mhm,
to your business.
mhm.
So, what are the areas in, let's say, a stressful parent's life that you think if you're going to start with these areas for organization, it's going to make the biggest impact? Where would that be in house or life or where would you start?
Well, what I suggest to everybody probably, this is when people move. Sometimes they hire me to come in before they move into the house and they say, "We just want the house to function when we get there. What
Right.
space do you think?" It's kind of the same thing. So the kitchen and the pantry seem for
Mhm.
me, especially people with children, like if you can be at home, know where everything is in your kitchen, it's going to help you when you have children, when you're making lunches, when you're getting ready in the morning. It's going to help you in the evening when you're getting ready for bed. I mean, all the things. So I think kitchen and pantry are kind of huge. Pantry's huge because you have to take an inventory of what you have every time you go grocery shopping,
Right.
and if it's an organized pantry, you kind of you know what you have.
Right. Right, it's like an organized balloon shop. You can look and see what you're out of versus
Mhm.
when it's all in bins together, and our pantry's terrible. There's no
Mhm.
system. It's just everything's kinda shoved in there. We are the family with the 3 peanut butters that you referenced. Like, I
Y
have no idea.
It's okay. There's a lot of you, it's okay. Well, it's funny because I feel like it's also somewhat organization is somewhat like a contagious thing. So, like, I'll go to someone's house, I'll do their pantry, and they'll send me pictures and go, "Tammy, look what I did. I did the hall closet.
Okay.
Look what I did. I just jumped in and I did this on my own." And so, speaking of business, I just did an interior designer's like sample library and put like all the tile and the certain types of tile together and all the rug samples so she can go in her little library and pull out samples for her client. Just, she can see everything.
Yeah.
And she just texted me last night and she said, "I did the hall closet all by myself. I just went for it." And I'm like, it's contagious. I don't know it.
Yeah.
I guess it's that feel good feeling that you get from being organized. And then all of a sudden you just go crazy and do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. Well, at what point did you, I guess, did you start making money from this? Like, that's a nosy question, but you said you were an interior designer, and I think,
No.
like, balloon people, it's like, well, I was planning events, or I was a florist, or I just did this for my kid's birthday party, and then, like, I wanted to make it a business. So how did you make that
Mhm.
transition? Because this feels like a niche.
It is a niche, and it's interesting because I was watching one of your previous podcasts where you were talking about, I don't know if I can actually make money doing this when you started.
Yeah,
And I never thought that I couldn't make money doing this. I knew that there was a need. And part of it was because in the interior design world, we would do an installation for this beautiful home. Everything was just, perfect. I would, at the end of the day, go into a closet to get, like, their vacuum out to, like, tidy up. Things fall out at me, and I'm like, a house like this, everything needs to match. Like, you should open every drawer and every cupboard here, and everything should be pristine because the house is pristine. So that was
yeah,
kinda like my thought, like, "Okay, this is really needed." Just because you have a nice house doesn't mean you're organized in any fashion. So, that was my first, like, light bulb moment, and I didn't know if I could make money from doing this, and I didn't know if this could be, like, a full-time. It started off as a side thing, which I think a lot of people who don't really know if they can make money doing something, they start it, like, as a side gig.
right.
I did both for a while. I was in the interior design world, at the same time simultaneously doing organizing. Um, for me, because I was already in this home space, I started with clients that we had within our studio, but it really quickly went beyond that because they would tell their neighbor, and then the neighbor would tell their sister. And so before I even knew it, word of mouth was just
Okay.
so. The next thing I know, I'm like, okay, I have to quit my full time job because I can't do both.
Yeah,
It happened really, really fast.
that's awesome.
And yeah, and part of it I think is that I do feel like my previous employment set me up for being lucky enough to be in a very luxury space.
Mhm.
So jobs I was getting were high end and big, and people who just wanted to be organized, and they were probably both career parents and just don't have time to do any of that,
Right.
but need it desperately because they have like 4 kids, or
But I
So,
feel like that's the same with balloons too. It's like
mhm,
we're not really competing with people who are gonna do it themselves, like, we're selling kind of a premium product that they don't really need, so it's like you are kind of already in that high-end
mhm.
clientele a lot of the time.
Definitely. Definitely. Yes, I feel that too. And, what was your question?
Well, just how
Do
you
I
got
make
into it,
money?
basically, how you
But you
started
asked me
making
about
it as a
money.
business.
You asked me if you can make money doing it, and 100%. Like, I 100% do this full time, since 2020, and I'm a single mom, and my kids are all grown now, but I do still have 2 at home, and, I I do it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah, you definitely can. But it's funny, I still have to this day, people say to me, professional organizer, what is that? And that's a job. People
Yeah.
will pay you to do that. So it's just, as you know, you do
Yeah.
balloons. Yes,
Yeah.
people will pay you to do that because they want a certain look or aesthetic for an event, and I'm sure they can't do the balloons themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there are so many parallels, and are you like, do you have a team of people, or is it just you?
Well, it's just me most of the time. So, I don't have a team, but I will bring in help if I get a job. For instance, I did a Christmas job that was very large, and there
Okay.
was just no way. It would have taken me three
What do you
weeks
mean
to
a
do it.
Christmas job? Like organizing their
Oh,
decorations?
I put up Christmas trees
Oh,
and decorations. So I do some seasonal work. And so
okay.
I have a handful of, well, more than a handful of clients, all my clients that have me do their Christmas trees. I decorate them and put them up. Then I take them down after the season and organize everything and put it away. I
Okay.
think it's like the best service ever because everybody hates putting away Christmas.
Yeah.
It's such a mess after Christmas. Everything, I feel like every garage is a mess. There's just Christmas everywhere and nobody wants to deal with it.
Yeah.
But So, yes, so I had a giant Christmas job, and I had 5 people help me, and
Wow.
that was great. So I know people, other organizers, I'll bring other organizers in who have their own business, and sometimes just people that I know that will come in and help me, but yeah, sometimes a team, but normally just me.
Okay. Yeah, I can't believe how similar we are. I think that's really common with balloon people too. It's like you do it by yourself, but every once in a while there's like a huge thing and I like to call in other balloon decorators as well because
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have enough work to always have a team. And then I mean we connected through 17 hats, which does a
Yes.
lot of the running of like the organization
Your
and the booking
business.
and stuff like that
Mhm.
to kind of manage the business. But that
Mhm.
is really interesting that yeah, and you're a decorator. Like that's I mean, we are very similar. The fact that you decorate Christmas trees.
Yeah, we're very similar. Like I work here in Southern California. I work with balloon decorators because often I have people say, because I do Christmas and I do other seasons as far as decorating goes, and I have done parties too for people, just people that know my background will
Yeah.
ask me, my clients. And so I have had to pull in balloon people for things, or people ask me, do you know anyone? Because we are kind of in a similar space.
That's so funny. That's so funny. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
think that before we started talking, and
Mm-hmm.
now it's like, "Oh, yeah, we
Yes.
totally are." Yeah, I love
You
it.
should you should connect with some organizers in Wisconsin.
Yeah, absolutely. My realtor actually just started an organizing business. I think she kinda did what you did where it was like, she's selling these houses and then she's seeing the people struggling with either getting their house ready to list or, like, she just
Yeah.
identified this, you know, need. So
Need.
it's interesting how we kind of all do that. We see these little things that are like branches
Mm-hmm.
in our existing business.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite and your least favorite type of space to organize?
Okay. My favorite, I think, is pantry
Okay.
or master closet. They're kind of a toss up. I like both a lot. And my least favorite, let me think, probably garage, just because it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Usually when you're doing a garage, it's a lot. It's very laborious and it's just a lot. And
Yeah.
it's dirty, but
Lawnmowers and stuff.
especially,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, honestly, I enjoy doing those too. I love the transformation of organization. I love seeing a space that is a hot mess and a couple days later it's awesome. Like I
Yeah.
get great satisfaction out of that. So,
Yeah. I guess what is your take and what is your process on people who do just need to get rid of stuff? Like, are you ever in situations where
mhm.
you're just like, this is dumb to organize because you just have more than you need. Like, I don't want to organize 50 spatulas or like you just don't need this many clothes. Are you involved in that process or you let them keep their things?
I'm involved in it a little. So I think that sometimes they like need to see a therapist. I mean, seriously, because
Yeah.
sometimes it's like it's something here that's not resonating. But I do. I mean, if somebody has 10 spatulas, I'll get them all out and put them on the counter, and they'll usually just laugh because they don't even know they have 10 spatulas.
Yeah.
And everybody has something. Like somebody might have million combs. I mean, it's really kind of funny. I'll
Yeah.
I'll laugh and go, "Okay, this is your thing," because everyone has one. And usually when I get it out and I set all of them out and say, "Okay, do you need all of these?" They usually laugh and they're like, "No, I don't need all of them."
Yeah.
On occasion, not very often, I get people who are very resistant to let go of things. And I never make anyone get rid of anything. And I never get rid of anything. Like I always ask before I do. I
Yeah.
leave things out and let them make that choice. And so I'm involved in this a little bit, but for the most part, I'm just kind of making them aware. And then 9 out of 10 times they decide to get rid of it.
Okay. Yeah.
Even clothes.
I feel like I'm like a weirdo in terms of like I like want to throw away everything. I love like a good purge and going to Goodwill. Like
Me
I
too.
love it. And sometimes I'm like,
Me too.
ugh, I shouldn't have gotten rid of that. It was like a little too hasty. So I'm the opposite. But I do think switching back to the balloon business side, I think a lot of us are guilty of over saving because it's like, well, I spent money on that, or I can
Yeah.
one day in theory make money from that. But there's almost like a cost of maintaining that thing, even if it's a little
Mhm.
foil balloon or whatever. It's like, are you even gonna remember that you have that? Like, it's gonna be the peanut butter, right? You're
Mhm.
like, "Oh, then I rebought those
Mhm.
balloons anyway because I didn't even know what I had." So I do
Mhm.
feel like there is this balance of, like, knowing when to actually take care of something and use it again, or when you're gonna be honest with yourself and just, like, let go of it, waste
Mhm.
the dollar because you're gonna forget
Mhm.
anyway. I
You're
struggle with that.
right, and wasting the dollar, as you say, is just it. People are like, "I paid for that," "I
Mhm.
bought that, and I don't want to just get rid of it." And so I get that too, but I think at the end of the day, less is more, and it gives you such a great feeling. It's almost like a weight has been lifted from your shoulders if you have less and you're able to see what you have and utilize what you do have. Because I think if people looked at what they have, say they have a closet full of clothes, they would find that they wear the same clothes over and over and
Yes.
that there's a whole lot in there that never gets touched in a year.
I thought about that today because I swear I've worn this blue sweater the last, like, 3 times I've recorded an episode. I feel like everyone's just gonna think I have, like, 1 shirt, but it's like you reach for those same things over and over that, like, they fit you well, you feel good in them, they're comfy, and then there's, like, a whole other drawer where I'm just like, "I don't even know what's in there." Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. So,
Yeah.
I feel like
I do the
now
same
that I've
thing.
moved, I need to do a big reset of my items.
It's a perfect time. Yeah, when you move
Yeah.
is the perfect time, actually. Just
Yeah.
start small. Start with one small space. Even if you start with one drawer, and I just did a thing on my Instagram yesterday about the infamous junk drawer,
Yeah.
and I'm like, everyone has a junk drawer, but like even if you start with that, your junk drawer, and organize it, you'll be inspired to go, okay, now I'm gonna do my silverware. Next, I'm gonna do my glassware. It does inspire you, and it's so contagious. Before you know it, you'll just have it done.
Yeah, yeah, and I think the same is true in my shop, like, there are, like,
Hmm.
bags of just, like, I don't kn like, there was this bin that I have been avoiding putting stuff away for, like, 3 weeks. It was just, like, after a job, and it was all just random stuff, and then finally I was like, "I'm gonna do it," and it took me, like, 4 minutes. Like, I've been staring at this bin of shame for 3 weeks, feeling guilty and overwhelmed, and then it took, like, no time. To me right now, it's my car. I'm like, I know I could clean my car out, it'd probably take, like, 30 minutes, but instead, it's just, like, this overwhelm of old mugs and cups and snow pants, and I
Hmm.
gotta just do it because, like you said, it does catch on, and then all of a sudden you're on, like, a little kick.
Right. And it's always so much easier than you envisioned. You're like, why didn't I do that a month ago? That
Yeah.
took 15 minutes.
Yeah,
You have,
absolutely.
you have to
Alright,
remind yourself of that.
last question, and I mean, I don't know if it's a preference, I don't know if it's an always do, but what do you recommend in terms of labeling? Like, should everything have a label? Is that a myth? I feel like for a while it was like everything needed to be labeled, and now it's kinda like, I don't know, then I feel like I'm undoing the labels half the time.
Right, and I feel like you can get carried away with labeling.
Yeah.
I love labels, and a lot of, like, new organizers are all about the label. The label is pretty, and sometimes the icing on the cake because it could be the one thing that makes it look really cute, right? But I also feel like, redundant labels, so say I'm in your pantry and it says snacks, snacks, snacks. That's silly. Like, I just think you don't need to label every single thing, but some things make sense. Like I often do like a big basket on the bottom and fill it with all the chips.
Okay.
And so it's kind of handy to have a tag on there that says chips. It's cute and it's handy. It's a cute basket, right? It works well. One might be crackers, one might be chips. So then you know where to go kind of thing. But I find that initially and when I first started this business, I labeled a lot. And I'm not label I do label, but not every single thing.
Yeah.
And also though, it's up to my clients too. Some of my clients love labels. I just did a job. She goes, I want everything labeled. It's how I work. It works for me. I know what is where and I just love it. And I'm like, okay, so everything's labeled. It
Yeah.
just depends. Mostly
Yeah.
a personal preference, I think.
Yeah. Cool. Well, let's wrap up. If someone's listening and they're like, "Ooh, I'm kind of getting the itch. Like, I wanna start, but I don't know where." What's, like, one small tip that you would give to just kinda give a listener the nudge to organize maybe, like, one drawer, one space?
I would just say, just do it. It kind of like anything, just force yourself. Think about something small. It could even be, I don't know, your sock drawer, something really small but tell yourself you're going to make it better. Your nightstand, just pick something small. Start with something that's not going to take you all day, that might take you an hour.
Yeah.
And all I can really say, the biggest tip in organization that people just don't understand or think through, and it's so funny, no one really ever talks about it. Measure the space. So if you're going to put drawer dividers in, if you're going to put anything in there, you want it to fit. Even if it's a shelf, you don't want something to hang off the shelf because it takes away from the aesthetic. People will often ask me, why doesn't it look like when you do it? Like I have all the bins and blah, blah, and they're all hanging over, they're all different sizes, there's no continuity. So I think measure and then go for it.
There you are. You're back.
You left for a minute.
Sorry. Yep, you were talking about the bins and why it looks better when you do it.
Because there's continuity and because they people like I'll go in and they'll say, "Why does it look different?" And it will be, all different bins, probably whatever they could find like at Home Goods, and you can only find onesie twosies usually, and things are overhanging the shelf and just it doesn't everything there needs to be consistency. So people, if you measure, you're going to be golden.
Yeah. I love it. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. It was so nice to meet you. Where can people
Nice to
find
meet
you
you.
if they want to learn more?
My Instagram is the best place. It's really where it's better than my website. I keep jobs on there. I post before and afters on there. I try and post tips. And so it's at Simple Organization on
Wonderful. Well,
Instagram.
thank you so much, Tammy. It was so nice to meet you.
It was so nice to meet you too. And thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.